Okay, we're going to talk about the graphing and equations of circles. So remember on the xy plane that if I graph something, that the coordinate points are always going to be written in x comma y. In other words, this is 1, 2, 3 units to the right in the direction of the x-axis, so that would be a positive 3. And then I go up 1, 2 in the y direction, so that would be 3 comma 2. In other words, x equals 3 and y equals 2. Now the equation of the circle is, there's a couple things. One is we identified the center of the circle as h comma k. So the center of a circle is h comma k, but it's still x comma y. We just use the letters h and k, but it's still, remember, x comma y. Okay? So if I were to draw a circle that had a radius of 2 units, right? So I've got this perfectly drawn circle, and I know that the radius is 2 because I go 1, 2 units this way, and I go 1, 2 units this way. I know that this is a radius of 2 all the way around the circle. It doesn't look like it on the screen, actually, because for some reason my document camera kind of skews. The image. But so then we would say that the center of this circle would be 3 comma 2, and that the radius is r equals 2. Now the equation to graph this actual circle on a using a graphing program would be that the relationship is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. And I could prove that to you guys, but really the proof is in the textbook if you're really curious about that. It has to do with the Pythagorean theorem and stuff like that. But every x comma y that's on the circle has this relationship to the radius in the center of the circle using the Pythagorean theorem. So then if I were to write the equation of this particular circle, I just plug in what I know. Well, I know that x is just going to be x minus h. H is a positive 3, but the formula has a negative sign, so it's still x minus 3 plus y minus k. K is positive 2, however the formula has a minus sign, squared, and that's equal to r squared. Well, the radius is 2, so it would be 2 squared. In other words, this would be x minus 3 squared plus y minus 2 equals 4. So that's the equation of the line. Okay? That's the equation, I'm sorry, I said line, but the equation of the circle. So let's move forward and do example number 1 real quick. So now for example number 1, I have a circle that looks like this. Okay? And it's not the best drawn circle. Maybe because my xy plane is not perfect. So this is the x-axis. This is the y-axis. And it wants to know, what's the equation? of this circle that you see here? Well, I know that this is a positive 2, I know that this is negative 2, I know that this is positive 2, and I know that this is negative 2. So right from the get-go, I realize that the radius is equal to 2. So the only other thing I need is h comma k, which is the center of the circle. Alright? And so remember that the equation of the circle is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. So I need to know h. Well, the center of the circle occurs at the origin. So my h comma k occurs at 0 comma 0. In other words, h equals 0, k equals 0. So we still plug this stuff in. So I've got x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared is equal to 2 squared. So it ends up becoming x squared plus y squared equals 4. And that is it. Now there's a part B to this. It says write an equation for a center of 0 comma negative 9 and then a radius of 4.2. So this won't be that difficult, really. We start off with our regular formula x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared, where h equals 0, k equals negative 9, and r equals 4.2. So this is 4.2 squared. And then I've got x minus 0 squared plus y minus 9 squared. So x minus 0 is just x squared is just x squared. This becomes y plus 9 because a negative of a negative is a positive. And then for the 4.2 dealie, I'm just going to say 4.2 times 4.2. 4.2 squared. So I'm just going to plug that in my calculator. 17.64. And that's it. That's how you write the equation of a circle.